Hello and welcome to Duos in Destiny, where two flunkies of Clown College try to make it by doing a D&D podcast. I'm your Dungeon Master.
Hey, we got it from the start. Don't worry, boys and girls. We are in it.
Kudos, that was good.
Welcome back.
I am your Dungeon Master, Logan, and I'd like to give a very special shout out to Jason Wardell of In the Vast Forest on Spotify and Bandcamp. You can hear his dulcet tones in the background, so be sure to check us out.
Hey, I'm Brandon, and I'm your player. We are very appreciative of you being here for episode number 8 tonight.
Dude.
Yeah, we are rapidly approaching double hands. We're going to break out some toes soon. Thank you for listening. Make sure you comment, subscribe, give us any feedback you want to, positive, negative, we'll take it all. Any criticisms constructive, and we'll gladly, learn from everything we can.
Share us with your local carnival this week.
Yeah.
Trying to get back into Clown College.
Yeah. It was tough to flunk out of there, but our shoes weren't quite big enough. Now,
big shoes to fill.
New episodes every single Wednesday as we recollect here. New episodes every single Wednesday. Make sure you catch them on YouTube, Spotify. Slowly going to be getting hopefully into a couple of the other ones as we kind of figure out that realm of life. But I guess that'll really just bring us into last time on Commander's Log. Carson and Carlisle teamed up with Chief Gordon and a pack of Leonins to ultimately sneak up and infiltrate into a small battle of the Surian, who were, how would you say it, cutting down and unaliving any of the fauna and life to the planet that was. A quick but deadly battle took place where all the Surian died, and yet only one Leonin unfortunately had passed. Chief Gordon made a quick decision to tackle the invaders right now and end it. So they took off in one direction, Carson and Carlisle straight to the ship. In doing so, Carson and Carlisle were able to sneak aboard the ship. It was filthy, disgusting. The smell was raunchy and just a horrible stench. They eventually made it into some sort of a captain's quarters, if you will. And that is where we left off. With Carson, his eyes rolled back in his head. And in a lack of life, we do not know if he still lives. But Carlisle was just pulling him out of the room. And we will find out tonight if Carson Hallebrand still lives.
Find out right now!
Yeah, right this second.
All right, so rolling back in to the previous session, you guys had just taken over the ship, killing the captain, but you had fallen in the process. We had rolled your death saves and called it there. So that is where we pick up.
Thank you.
Carson, the last thing you remember specifically is the sharp, searing pain of dirty claws from a Suran piercing through your gut. There is a fade to black, and that was the last thing. You feel at peace. You almost feel as if you're drifting amongst the stars. There's kind of a weightlessness to you, and a peace, like a peace all about you. And it kind of reminds you of the times that you've spent aboard the Starhammer, floating through the wild space, and just enjoying your surroundings. Like the quiet moments aboard the ship feel reminiscent of what you're at now. We'll flip back to the foredeck. What's happening currently? Recently overthrown the Wasp ship, the Lion Folk rush on and clamber aboard as the Wasp ship begins to take flight. There's kind of like this and thrum in the air as the wings start flapping rapidly, and it's kind of taking like a listless, very shaky flight, and all the Lion Folk have kind of like popped up out of the grass. They rush up to it and start clambering on. You see Gordon rush through the entirety of the ship, which is a pretty small ship. until he gets to the actual foredeck, where you remember. I'd have to pull it out. The ship goes down,
Yep.
and the spelljamming helm is actually like in the front, basically in like the face of the wasp
Right.
ship. Chief Gordon is standing at the hatch, and he like goes to open it, and it's shut, like sealed shut. So he's banging on it. We pick up back with Carson. You're drifting lazily at peace in this expanseless void. You're weightless and safe, and there's almost this like carefree feeling, like all the weight on your shoulders is gone. The expectations of Carlisle, the expectations of what you left behind in Torvengard, you don't have anything of that. There's no threat of Cognan here in this empty void, and you're at peace with what just happened to you. Back to Gordon. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I hit all the beats. Back to Gordon as he's crouching at the hatch. He's banging on the hatch. And he says, "Your crew is dead. Land the ship. We will spare your life." Carlisle shouts from within. And he says, "It's Carlisle, you dolt! Carson's down. He's hurt real bad. We have to go." Gordon is kind of like taken aback. He says, Good job, Captain. Well done. Take us north. Follow the river. The tribe there knows healing." Carlisle says, "I'm trusting you, and if you're lying, we'll all die." And then you hear him go, like there's like a... "Come in, Zage. Carson's hurt bad. We're following the river. We're going to meet with a new tribe. Meet us there."
Okay, cool.
Back to you. In the emptiness, as your body settles, you feel as if a hard stone floor has kind of like met your back and is now carrying you. You no longer feel as if you are adrift. And then, in the darkness, there's a shower of sparks and a familiar ping, ping, ping. And in the light from the sparks and the hot metal iron that is being worked on by who you would presume is Venus, you see the dwarven face kind of peering down at you as he leans over the anvil. And he's like, "You look like you'll make it. You are tough. You don't give up. You sacrifice yourself for what you believe in. I knew I choose well. Get up." And at this moment you realize you can move. Like, your body is once again yours. You have freedom. And contrary to what you felt before when you've entered this space, you actually feel as if you are here at the moment.
Well, what do you mean you chose me? Chose me for what?
You have unexplained powers. Who do you think gave them to you?
Why me? What did I do to deserve this?
You've just proven it all, haven't you?
I slowly stand up and...
Don't make me repeat myself.
Explain yourself then. What am I? Just a toy to the gods? Just to be dead and then brought back every time? What is this? Is this a life? Or just an extension of your power?
He kind of like looks at you quizzically and studies you for a long moment.
Oh, awkward.
And the dim light is kind of fading. And he just... and he starts hammering away at the anvil. I've been shackled here for centuries. And this is the thanks I get for bestowing my powers upon you. I chose you as a beacon of hope. The hope you instill in yourself and the people around you. I've watched you all your life, so I knew you were the right one. The chances now, things are stirring, and I don't think I can last long if things continue the way they have.
What do you mean last long?
We're being hunted.
The gods. You are being hunted by who?
If only I knew. Wouldn't have this issue, would I? can't even move from where I'm at. And he kind of like shakes his shackles, and you see him bound to the anvil before him. I don't know what happened. I remember long ago, before I was trapped here, back when the world was whole, there was panic amongst my worshippers. I ignored it. And then there were screams, pleas of help. It was too late for me. They fell, and I fell. I clung to the only thing I could, and I found myself here. But they wiped out more than just me. The connection I had to my brothers, my sisters, gone. I cannot feel most of them. Few remain. And I feel a few have winked out recently. Whoever did this to us, they have not stopped. Their power is rising. The time to act is now. So I chose you. I don't know if I chose wrong. I like the qualities I see in you.
I'm ignorant, but I feel more lost now than I have in my entire life. I went from nothing to being thrust into the spotlight. I'm doing my best, but I just feel like my best isn't good enough.
You have made a difference. I feel stronger since I put my trust into you. I can tell something is happening within you. And I know with time, more good will come. But for now, I am stuck here. You are out there as my emissary, my spark of hope. That is all I have. Until I can break free. But until then, I am weak. You are strong. I was nothing. I am nothing. You were nothing. But now you are not. I pray you do not squander this opportunity.
I don't plan to. I'm truly trying my absolute best. Themis, I'm doing what I can.
I've seen, and you've done well. I feel my enemy's presence about you. Their fingers are in everything going on. You're closing in, but not quite there yet.
What more do you ask of me?
To keep fighting, to keep spreading the hope that you are. You've done well so far. Do not take this for failure. You live and breathe, here and now, and wherever else you are.
I'm not dead.
You're not. You'll be fine, as I said. You're tough. That's what I admire about you. You take the hits, and you keep dealing them, until you can't. You fight for who and what you believe in. Do not forget that. People will look to you, sooner rather than later. Do not be afraid.
As you wish, Themis.
What little power I have left within me is within you. And he takes his hot iron rod and just straight, like basically right back into the brand. And that's where we'll flip back over to...
Ooh, that was intense.
Let me make sure I lost where exactly I was in my notes. Actually, we'll continue with you.
Good.
So, as the searing pain courses through you, it's like this deep, hot pain at first that slowly spreads to a welcoming warmth. That sensation is entirely interrupted in a brief moment as your eyes flutter open as you are awoken with a very cold splash to the face. You are soaking wet, head to toe, as if you just got pulled from the river. You sputter and you find yourself laying on a very muddy embankment. And you hear a chuckle. From the looks of it, you cannot swim. Greetings, I am Paizo. And you see a very muscular, very stout, and wet-looking lion folk standing in front of you.
What was that for?
Well, you were not waking up. I had to do something.
Why are you so wet, though?
Well, I was in the river as well. Welcome to the river-swept tribe. And then all of a sudden, there's like crashing of brush next to you, and this large gray shape hurtles straight at you. Caution! You cannot believe how excited I am! Oh dear! And he like wraps you up in a big hug and is squeezing you. He's like,
easy.
I was so worried. I was worried sick.
Please, just a little less pressure. Just a little less pressure.
I'm sorry. And he kind of like puts you down after a moment.
Oh, I don't think my ribs are ever gonna quite heal.
You'll be fine.
All right. Ooh,
Carson,
you made it out.
we did.
Well, good job, good job.
You couldn't imagine how stressed I was. You were literally bleeding on the ground in front of me. And I've never flown a ship before.
You think that would kill me?
Yeah, there was a lot of blood.
I slowly start to stand up.
Easy does it.
I pat him on the shoulder. We've got a lot more to do.
Pizor kind of like helps you stand up, and he's like, easy does it. There's no need to rush.
I'm not rushing.
You need to rest. You have taken a fatal injury. You will be fine, but you need rest.
It's not too fatal then, is it, Faisar?
From the looks of it, it was rough. Very...
Am I like 1 HP?
Yeah.
Well...
Come,
Yeah,
dry yourself by our fires.
that would be lovely. That water was pretty cold.
And you guys begin picking through the muddy embankment, and it is very muddy. Like, when you step, you kind of like sink to your ankles, and you're like basically trying to not lose your boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you notice that Pizor is not wearing any, like, he doesn't wear any boots or anything like that. In fact, he doesn't really wear any clothes. He's wearing undergarments, and they're like kind of like a very skin tight, very like kind of like swimwear in a way, essentially.
You know my boy Faisar is wearing a Speedo?
Essentially, yeah.
All right.
It's more like board shorts, but definitely like oddly underdressed.
I respect his choices.
Yeah. And so he leads
Gotta
you
play.
through the muddy embankment, and you guys are basically standing in like tall reeds and weeds and ferns that obscure your vision from what you can hear as a rushing river nearby. He like pulls back a large curtain of reeds, and you see in front of you where the river actually opens up this community of floating homes that are like kind of like straw mat homes in a way. So is it like, imagine it as if you looked up from above,
Okay.
it would look like nothing more than the embankment that you're standing on now. It is a very natural looking village, as if it's meant to be here. But you notice all of the homes and the buildings are on their own little floats, and they're all kind of tethered together. You see many lion folk milling throughout the town. There are like kind of like canoes set up between places, kind of like as boardwalks and bridges, but otherwise like that's how people are traversing, kind of like a Venice situation. Even odder is you see some of them just like walking across on stilts, like basically like stilting between the different buildings. And you see there's like a large circle of these buildings, and you can see like small campfires and like just the smoke rising from them within. And he's like, "Come, you've got a lot to see." And he pulls from the embankment, kind of like hidden behind the reeds, a canoe, and he hops in it and like helps you within the canoe. And at that point, Carlisle, already like halfway up to his waist, takes off his overcoat. He's like, "Something feels right about this." And he begins to swim that way, and kind of like swimming and just keeping pace with your canoe. Yeah, you can see his little ears flicking and kind of like blowing out the nostrils. True hippo here in the moment, like indistinguishable as
he's not a hippo. He's a give. Okay.
No, like he looks at a hippo at this moment, like fully immersed. You see nothing but his head, and he's just kind of trailing your guys' canoe as you go back.
And you called this what? The tribe name?
The River Swept Tribe.
River Swept, thank you.
Yep. And you were talking to Pizor. You guys start to make your way through the town, and you're getting a lot of looks. You don't know how long you were out or how long you've been here, but many of the people like stop what they're doing and look up at you guys. You see a lot of the locals are fishing, casting nets, milling about. Closer towards the bank, you actually see a large population of the lion folk farming. Essentially, like it's kind of like a flooded field farm in a way, like kind of like a rice field in a way, or like cranberries, whatever. They're out there farming amidst the embankment. A very active town, and this population is 2 to 3 times the size of the tribe that you originally found, the Chief Gordon's tribe. Yeah. Which, for some stupid reason, the name slips my mind. That's right. The Moonshade. It's right here.
Gordonians.
The Gordonians. Maybe it'll come back to me here in a moment, because I just can't remember what I called it, but it's somewhere in these notes of mine. But anyways, he kind of like picks his way across the reeds or across the town, and he's very deft about his maneuvers. Like even the children you see milling about are all like jumping from canoe to pole, and it's a very agile system of movement. And Carlisle, for one, just stays in the water and is just swimming and kind of keeping pace with you guys, but you're kind of like trying to pick your way through, so I'm gonna have you make a dexterity check.
Okay.
What'd you get?
Natural 20, baby.
Did you really? What a hot start. Heck yeah. You kind of like...
the brink of death.
You pause...
Carson's comfortable.
And no kidding. You pause and kind of like survey the way Pizor has picked his way across. You're like, sure, I can do that. And you just deftly follow him perfectly. And he kind of like looks in like an approval, like a nod of approval. You look at home here. And he looks down to Carlisle and he's like, as do you. Like, I sure feel at home here. It's bizarre. And Pizor chuckles. He's like, as you should, my gift friend. And then kind of continues picking his way through. You guys eventually come to a kind of like a town square. There's a large flotilla, like a mat in the center, kind of like an arena. And surrounding it are a bunch of canoes, as if it's like an audience seat. And you see many of the townsfolk have kind of gathered in here. And central to this flotilla, you see 2 recognizable individuals and 2 new individuals. One recognizable being Zage, sitting cross-legged and speaking with the people in front of him. Actually, he's actively listening and kind of in trance, because I'll get to that in just a second. The other member that you notice is Chief Gordon, sitting right next to Zage. And then you see an unfamiliar lion folk dressed fairly similarly as Pizor. Like almost all the ones that you've passed that are locals look like they're pretty much in the same vein of clothing. Like they're all like undergarments, essentially, just lithe, skin-tight undergarments. And like a lot of like fishing attire, large broad hats, spears, nets, the things like that. And so you see one elderly lion folk sitting with them, and everybody's attention is on a matronly lion folk who has this like large mantle that is on her head that makes her look like a river creature. Essentially, like the mantle goes from head to feet, and it looks like a wolf, if the wolf spent only its time in the water. So pretty close to like a seal lion. Yeah, a seal lion, in the fact that it has like large fangs. It even has like hands that end in claws and like webbed
You mean
feet.
sea lion?
What did I say? Seal
lion?
Jesus, yes, a sea lion. Yeah, a sea lion. But it's like, it's very dog-like in its appearance.
Okay.
If a dog grew up in the water, which is a sea lion essentially. Yeah. So, you see, she's like adorned in this mantle, and she is giving this performance and kind of like dancing and weaving her arms about. And as she's weaving her arms about, there's water that's kind of like seeped up from the mat beneath her and is like creating images in front of her. And she's orating a story. And Pyzor is like, "Come closer, you are just in time." And he kind of picks his way, jumping between canoe, and you follow your way. And there's a couple times where you jump a little bit too much and you disturb the folk. You go, "Oh, sorry," as you're like getting your way across. Carlisle just ducks beneath all the canoes and surfaces right up and like beaches himself as Pyzor like welcomes you to a seat next to Zage and Chief Cordon. And you start to tune in to the oration, and as the individual speaking is like, as she's orating, there is this picture coming to life with the water in front of her, and she begins telling the story of the time when winged moth-like ships fell from the sky and began to rain fire. And these images start to sprout of this ship with like these large wings. It's fairly similar to the wasp ship, but much bigger. And you see it is raining, like as it's flying over the plains, there are like little individuals beneath it scattering as what look like bombs are dropping from the deck of the ship. And you see on the deck of the ship people hurling different spells down at the people below. And then it switches to like a battle scene where many of the plains folk, you notice amidst the lion folk that have been created in this water-like image, there are Gif, and then there's these other strange creatures, Loxodon, that are like elephant-like folk, and they're all warring with these invaders. And she tells of the time 139 years ago that the pointed-eared invaders came and wantonly destroyed all within their path. Anyone that resisted was quickly put down mercilessly until those certain invaders began to focus on the Loxodon specifically. The Loxodon had kind of organized a large uprising army, and then systematically were eradicated until no Loxodon were left. And then from then, you see as she begins to tell the story of the hunting of the Gif, and how individually each Gif was hunted off the face of this planet. And Carlisle is just stunned next to you. And she even kind of keeps looking his way, this Gif that has appeared amidst them. And there is this overwhelming moment of, like, you've witnessed, essentially, in story form, an entire population wiped off the face of the planet.
I take that moment to kind of hold my left arm out, and I just kind of set it on Carl, like between his shoulder blades a little bit. I don't say anything.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay. So, as she continues her tale, sorry, I gotta figure out where I'm at in these notes, because I had certain story beats I was trying to get to, and
Absolutely.
I want to make sure I get
Hit 'em.
them
Hit him.
as this is a kind of a big lore drop moment. A lore drop moment sponsored by Jason Wardell of In the Vast Forest on Spotify
Hey, that's
and
my job.
Bandcamp. Oh, I'm sorry.
A lore drop moment that is sponsored by Jason Wardell of In the Vast Forest and Spotify and Bandcamp. Please give Jason some love, like and subscribe to all of his stuff. His music is definitely killer. Like, I love it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it makes a big difference.
It does. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. I found my spot where I left off in my notes. So, she tells the story of as quick as they came, once the Loxodon and the Gif no longer walked this planet, the ships left, leaving behind them a population absolutely decimated. At least a third of all inhabitants gone. And people living in fear, scared of what next will come from the sky. And then 139 years later, new arrivals. These Suran creatures that you guys have just fought. And she starts to show the wasp ships. Sorry, that is so hard to say. It really is. Wasp ship.
It's a waspy ship.
Sorry. Anyways, so she tells the story of the Surans coming in the wasp ships and laying waste to the plains. When they arrived, they basically landed in the smack middle of the plains, between the plains, the jungle, and the swamp, and just began to spread. And she kind of has like an overlay map of the spread that slowly starts to take over. And from the looks of it, the population here at the River Swept tribe is full. Like, it doesn't look like it's been impacted nearly what you saw with the Plains tribe, which for the life of me, I can't remember what I called them. We'll get there eventually. And she continues and she says, for 139 years, we lived in fear until you arrived. She points to Carlisle. The first gift of a generation. And you bring us ships. And she takes a bow, and all the water dissipates around her and just soaks back up into the mat. And now the other member speaks with you. Who you would assume is probably the chief of this tribe, as he has this large necklace of different pearls all around him, and he has this beautiful headdress. He's sitting there and he says, "Greetings, friends from beyond. I am Chief Cesarel of the River Swept tribe, and we are glad to welcome you here into our community." Cesarel. Spell it however you want, but I have it Cezerale. And he continues, he says, "Thank you, Wave Speaker Mawak, Mouth of the River, and Weaver of Water and Tales. Thank you for sharing with us the Rain of Fire. Captain Carlisle Colchester, Zage here tells us that you're in command of that vessel. What is your business coming here?" And Carlisle, taken off guard, kind of stands up. He's like, I don't know how I'm gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna follow that. You got this. Take a breath. Take a breath. I'm Captain Carlisle Colchester of the Starhammer, and we are sent here as emissaries from Torvangard. And you can tell he's sweating profusely at this moment. He says, our king sent us, King, and Zage kicks him in the boot, and he's like, I'm sorry. Our king sent us because we need allies. We're at war, and we are in desperate need of anyone that can fight. Help us fight. So we came here, seeking allies. I think the gift all gone. just kind of sinks back into his chair. And the chief says, "Yes, I am sorry to report that to you, Captain Carlisle Colchester, but you are the first gift any of our generation have seen. It is with stories and legends from our great-great-grandparents that we even know of you. But to see you here today warms our heart. And you bring us ships, and you bring us aid that proves that times are changing." And Carlisle is just like, I think I need a moment. And he kind of like just dips. Like literally he just kind of like rolls out and just goes straight into the water. Yeah, he just straight into the water, and you can kind of see his wake. And it leaves the entire flotilla, and it goes out and toward like the depths of the river. And you see moored, I think probably, anchored just offshore and a little bit upriver is the Starhammer, and he's kind of making his way that way. And the chief looks at you, he's like, I apologize. I did not mean to upset Carlisle. It's a rare sight to have a gift amongst us. It's been a long time. And for him to return with ships that once eradicated us, it's a lot. We are sorry to do that to him. What? He said you speak of needing allies.
I'll slowly bow my head. Chief, you need not to apologize. It weighs on Carlisle quite heavily. He looks for his people, as I assume that you and I would do the exact same. He longs for his people. We are in search of allies. We have been sent by our king, the great city of Torvengard. This planet was able to be found in close orbit. We've never actually been to another one. This was a first for us. Your people are first in meeting of a new species. But Chief Cordon, this is strong and seems like a very worthy ally.
He is a proven warrior. This is a lot to take in. For starters, where you come from, there are no more gifts. You said Carlisle seeks his people.
Correct.
So he is alone.
That is correct.
But he is from where you are from?
Not from there. He merely found his way there a long time ago.
Next question. You have these ships. That one is your own. It came from, you called it Torvengard?
That is correct. A few different orientations, different jobs. Lots of mining where I'm from.
Mining?
Rock under the mountain. Gems and minerals and such.
You live on a mountain, like the ranges beyond.
Yes, on a larger scale.
And you come here for allies.
For aid, yes.
The river-swept tribe will provide you aid if you provide us more ships. Guide us in the reclamation of these ships and the piloting, and we will return the favor.
What are your ships to be used for then?
For war. We must stop this incursion. The Suran, you called them, the ones from the sky, that blight our lands. It must end. But we do not have the firepower or the ability like they do. They leave and return. We are stuck.
To gain access to these ships is no small feat. It will take time and effort to build and create them, to learn to operate. I mean, you could be talking about years.
We understand. Do you think we could continue to steal some?
Absolutely.
Could you teach us to fly?
It's very possible, yes. Are there individuals in your tribe here that are of the arcane persuasion in some fashion?
Arcane, I am unfamiliar with.
Magic.
Yes. Wave Speaker Mawak has great magic, as well as the young Paizo you met, the Wave Whisperers. He is one of 5. These 5 have been chosen to wield our tribe's magic and tell our stories.
Those would be the 5 that would be available to pilot such ships. It's not going to be an easy ordeal. It'll take much time to learn and much time to conquer. It would be foolish to think that we can just hop in a ship and you'll be going to war tomorrow in them.
There are other tribes we can gather, form an army, not divided. One common enemy, one common goal.
How many tribes of individuals like yourselves?
There are 5 tribes total. I have to find the names now. Because now I definitely have to find the names. Keep asking me questions.
Ask questions, I shall.
Keep asking me questions.
As we are kind of standing there and I'm looking around, I kind of look away from Chief Cesarel and I look back towards the Starhammer to see if I see Carlisle slinking out of the water and up towards the ship.
Yeah, at about this time you can see the crane is raising him up on
sick.
deck. Yeah.
Carlisle's about to leave me. He's like, I'm out of here. It's been real.
Sage is still with you.
It's been real, Carson. He can drive the ship though now. He knows it.
Yep, he sure can.
Gosh. Okay. Are there many cities on this planet?
Beyond the mountains, we know not much. But within the plains, we were once much bigger. Then the pointed ears once came and killed us. Killed all of us. And now, few remain. And we war all the time with the lizard folk to the south and the Yonti to the east. These ships would stop that war.
I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all. I mean, I would have to clarify and check with my captain, but I think that's something that would be beneficial. And a ship in the right hands makes a big difference.
As I can tell, what you have accomplished as you have arrived, according to Chief Gordon, is more than they have been able to accomplish.
That seems we were lucky to have been in the right place at the right time.
It is luck you speak of, or it is fate you have come to us. But we thank you nonetheless.
Themis watches over us both then.
Who is it you say?
Themis.
I know not of this Themis.
He is with you. A God of our people. And whether you know of him or not, he is with you as well.
That we do not know gods here. We only know the harsh reality of life. When the pointed ears came, our great-great-grandfathers, they prayed to the gods that they believed in, and they failed. There was nothing to protect them. They were wiped out. And so the worship of gods has fallen to the wayside.
I can understand your volley against it. I can understand the negative connotation that might have come from that. One thing that I hope you understand is there is no good without evil. And what you said these pointed ears had done to your civilization, to this planet's civilization, is strictly evil.
It is.
There is no arguing that fact.
And the ones that do it to our planet again, they are evil.
They will.
We must fight them. We must win. We cannot let them take all our land.
I couldn't agree more, Chief. But though with that being said, there is a power and a force against them. One that aligns on the opposition of that evil. I trust and I ask that you put your trust back into Femus. He will guide your people, and he will make a difference.
We'll give it an attempt. Perhaps you can guide us in contacting this god of yours.
It's fairly easy. We see each other all the time.
Oh my God.
Here, let me just cut your throat. You're gonna see it through.
Is that really how it works?
No.
Is that?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't say that. I
I
didn't say, hey Chief, let me cut your throat.
You got a nasty scar around your neck, so.
I will gladly lead you through some type of meditation and prayer. But it is simple. Put your request out and speak to him. He is here and he is listening. The gods have much on their plates.
I believe the gods have abandoned us a long time ago, and it only took us ages to realize.
I don't think
You
that's
come
the
here and you
case.
spread this belief of yours. I am interested.
What is life without a little belief, Chief? I believe in you that your people are good. I believe in you that you can lead your people to a freedom that you have not felt in 139 years. Chief, I believe in you to be the change. And we're going to help you do that.
You have arrived and you have brought hope to our communities. You have brought Chief Gordon to us, the Riverswept tribe and the Moonshade tribe. I found the name. Just so proud of myself. Thank you. I'll be here all night. The Riverswept tribe and the Moonshade tribe have not held court in ages. We are broken and shattered, fighting our own battles. But it is time we all unite and fight one battle. Chief Gordon pipes up and he says, I do know of the Cliff Riders. Chief Tyther and I have met previously. I could reach out to him once more. And Pizor chimes in and he says, I have met with the Windtorn. I could try to establish a relationship with Tim, and then from there, we just need to contact the Iron Roots. Then we have a plan. I will go to. Sorry, I have to remember what I just called him. I will go to Chief Tyther of the Cliff Riders, and I will ask for help. And he looks to you and he says, "But I need to be able to get there soon."
Say less. If there's a time to unite, it is now.
It is now.
The Council of Chiefs is among us.
And Pizor chimes in and he says, "I can make my way to the Windtorn. They are not too far. I can make it in 3 days. If we can all reconvene at the mountains, we will find the iron root there." So it is agreed then. We go our separate ways, and we will reunite the tribes, as is foretold. And the Chief Cesarel says, "As is foretold." And that kind of signifies the end of this meeting. Everyone starts to disperse from without, and you find yourself standing there with Chief Gordon and Zage. And Chief Gordon says to you, "How soon can we leave?"
Zage, I think that's a question for you, sir.
Oh, of course, yes. Well, you look like you could use some rest.
I do look pretty handsome today, don't I?
Handsome is what we'll call it, yes. You look like you did on your first day.
It's a low blow, Zage. Low blow. I feel it, too.
I believe we could all use some rest. Can we leave in the morning? Chief Gordon says, "That is agreeable. In the morning." And with that, you guys can all part your separate ways, and you can choose where to go from there.
I head to the ship
Okay.
for shizzle.
Awesome. You pioneer one of the canoes. Zage actually leads you over to one that he came on, and you guys head back towards towards the Starhammer, which is a site you have not seen before in the water, not in the air.
Oh, they set it down in the
yes,
river?
yes.
Oh,
It
sick.
is
Okay.
floating and anchored in the river.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you make your way over to that, and you are lifted up, and you see the automatons just kind of milling about the deck, making some small repairs, and then no sign of Carlisle on deck.
I'll waddle my way to Carlisle's quarters.
Okay, awesome. So you
Find the door.
I'm not hungry.
It's me, Carlisle.
Oh. Come inside.
I open the door. Did you find my mom?
Oh. I thought you said mom. I'm so confused.
Is my mom on board?
Did you find my mom? I was like, that's a weird question to ask. I was like, what am I supposed to say to that? Did you find my mall? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Alright.
It's
Yeah.
in your quarters.
That's all I needed. Good night.
Good night.
I'm just kidding, Carlisle. I feel like I
As you
could
notice,
break the ice a little bit.
you don't see Carlisle. Like you see, like there's a overstuffed chair in the corner, and then his bed. You don't see him.
You mind showing yourself?
And he just like raises his hand, and he's on the ground next to his bed, kind of like hiding behind it.
Okay.
I didn't want to get the sheets wet.
Slowly walk over there. Is there room for me to lay down?
Yeah.
I'll lay down beside
There's a
him.
pretty it's pretty wet all around him. Like the floor of the ship is soaking.
I
from
lay
it.
down
Yeah.
beside him. On my back. Oh. Sit down. Hold my ribs. Lay down on my back. Yeah.
You look better.
Yeah, but this is pretty comfortable.
It's not bad down here.
You
Sorry I
all-
left like that.
You don't owe me any explanation. You alright?
No. Are you?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not to be that guy, but a lot more answers today than you had the day before.
Answers I didn't know I was quite ready for.
Well,
I don't think I'm quite ready for them.
that's kind of the thing about life, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never had these answers before.
We're never ready for answers. Just kind of, it comes when we need it to. Like you said before, a few weeks ago, before we left the first time, all you'd ever done in your whole life was run. You know, when you're running, that means you're never looking for an answer. It's always there, but it can chase you as much as it wants to. And if it chases you, and you're not willing to let it catch you, you're never going to find anything out.
When did you get so wise?
I don't know that I'm very wise, but it's more of a... Being with you the last couple of weeks has really changed my mentality.
I felt a change as well in myself. But this rattled me.
Well, you know, dying the couple times I think I have has rattled me as too.
Yeah.
Hey, I kind of like throw my right hand over and I hit him in the shoulder. Saw Femus again today.
Is that...
Yeah, you tell me, Carlisle.
Is it every time you die you see him?
I don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you. I've died... Did I die today?
The bleeding stopped. Eventually. And you breathed the whole time. But I couldn't wake you.
So, whatever subconscious that I was in, I spoke to him again and...
What did he say?
I yelled at a god.
Oh, you yelled at a god?
Yeah, not my brightest or my smartest move. So when you speak of wisdom, it comes in ebbs and flows.
What will you think? Why would you yell at him?
That's a good question. Anger, frustration.
What are you so angry about?
Why is this all happening to me? What did I do to make this a reality? Why did he choose me? You know, I feel like my strings are just getting pulled in every direction. And it's not that I'm not grateful for what you've given me, by no means. I am beyond, I can't show you enough gratitude. I wasn't raised a fighter. I'm trying. You know, I've never swung a weapon before in my life. And that shows to beat the band. I miss all sorts of things. And I keep just getting the absolute crap kicked out of me. Am I more of a vulnerability? Am I more of a liability to you?
To me? Far from it. You've saved my life more times than I can count.
My head kind of hits the ground. It's kind of like that audible hits back.
The strangest thing I've noticed is around you, things just keep happening. I know that's a broad statement, but...
It's broad, but it sure is true.
It is. I wasn't raised a fighter either, but fighting alongside you just makes sense. It feels right. Like swimming in the river. It just feels right.
So, There's nothing to be upset about.
A lot to be upset about.
Well,
Carson,
good.
everywhere I go, I'm the only one. I thought for moments that I wasn't the case here.
Yeah, but we just started.
What if I'll never find my family? Or who I am?
What if the star hammer blows up? What if I died?
What if am I gonna blow up?
With the path we're on, it's possible. And he just like goes into like a hysterical laugh.
Carson, you're worrying me.
What if Zage takes us the completely wrong direction for years at a time? What if my left hand falls off? We can play that game all day long. We have to have hope. We're gonna find people that are like you. They're out there now. We know that. And we're heading in the right direction. We don't know if you were directly from here. We know that there were people akin to you. But what you've told me of your story doesn't quite match this.
No.
So,
it feels right to be here, but I know this isn't where I'm from.
so that's promising. We took a step, a huge step. Because on Torvengard, there's like 4 different races, and that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was other races to begin with. But
This was a lot.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
Like these Leonin guys? I mean, I thought Earth Genasi were pretty solid people, but those guys are kind of terrifying.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I was really just speaking into the dark for a second because I was scared.
Yeah.
Chief Gordon is a unit.
Yeah. A little bloodthirsty.
Yeah. It's a good thing we have them on our side.
Yeah. We have them on our side then.
We do. I might have made a promise I probably shouldn't have. They asked for ships.
He kind of like looks over at you and raises an eyebrow. Ships.
But I think we've limited to the ships that they found on the island, on their planet rather. So, ones that the Saurons, the Wasp ships, they've asked for a little bit of guidance. They are to unite their people again, the 5 tribes that have all separated through time. We are in fact actually going to be taking Chief Gordon to the Cliff Riders. Cliffside Riders?
I think you're right. Cliff Riders.
Cliff Riders?
Yes, Cliff Riders.
To take them to the tribe of the Cliff Riders. Pizor, the too much fur guy, not enough clothing. He's going to check out, I think, a tribe called something like the Winds Surfers. And then we're all going to convene on a tribe in the mountains, I think, called the Iron Roots. Reunite the 5 tribes as one. Make them strong again. Give themselves a good fighting chance.
Okay.
So I locked us in for a little bit. But if that's okay with you, if you want to pull out now, we can leave right now and be gone.
Well, we can't go back empty-handed. And if they promise to help fight alongside us,
They did.
I'm just always afraid for what's going on back at Torvengard.
Do we have a way to communicate back? Is Age capable of... He talks to us sometimes. Is he able to send long distance calls?
I haven't asked. But we can try.
Might be worth a shot, maybe.
Yeah.
See if he can at least communicate back. And we know that Admiral Jim Horder was working on the Navy. I assume with the way he works, he'll at least have a few units probably pretty quickly.
Hopefully, yeah.
And we've only been gone for a few days right now.
A few days is a lot.
It is.
A few days is enough to get involved in another war.
Well, that's no mistake.
I don't think so either, honestly. I think being here is where we should be.
We were on a time crunch or no? Just to get here was a time crunch, not a total mission, right? It was just like the plane was moving within reason, like here's your jump dates,
Yes.
but not to get back within a certain date. Okay.
Yeah, you basically knew this week is the closest that this planet is going to be to Torvengard. It's obviously, I guess technically, since you guys jumped the gun, it has a few days left.
Yeah, we're so.
I'd say probably like about 4 days left of like a quick range jump to where it'd still be like a 3 days travel back to Torvengard.
Okay.
And then past that, it's going to continue to get further and further away as they both drift apart. So it's not a terribly large window of when you would quickly be able to get back to Torvengard. However, you do know, obviously, like, the spelljamming ships scoot out there, and, like, just the journey to this planet itself had a lot less stops than it did to get into Torvengard, or even moving about the Terran fields.
Yeah, the asteroid belt.
So even if this planet continues to move away, like, you can still get back fairly quickly.
Okay.
Better to just kind of lengthen that trip back the longer you're here.
Makes sense.
So,
if you'll have it, in the morning, we're going to take Chief Gordon to find these cliff riders.
And what are we doing with the other ship?
Leaving it here.
Does anybody know how to fly?
They have a handful of arcane users, but I don't know that. I mean, they don't know how to operate it.
So they could learn.
They can, yes.
Should we bring some of them and teach them along the way?
Like a training program.
Yeah.
We could do like a little montage.
I watched Tantham put together his gym runners. I would say the first thing to do is train them.
Okay.
I know how to train people.
I would imagine you'd be very good at it.
Don't put that on my head, but I've got an idea.
Okay.
I mean, Sage taught me, so...
How many should we bring? I think they have approximately 5.
As many as we can get, honestly.
Okay. I assume it probably 1 or 2 would have to stay. It seems like they might be a little bit of a higher stature, and if Chief Cesarel is going to be leaving, I don't know if it falls down to one of them in charge, but we can figure it out. I will...
Chief Cesarel was not one of the magically inclined.
No, but he's leaving, correct?
No, Pizor was actually the
Pizor's
one.
leaving.
Yeah,
That's
Pizor
right.
was the one that was going to go
That's right, okay.
to the Wind-Torn tribe.
So, Pizor is actually leaving to go to find the wind. So we might be able to have 3 to 4. If they still need one, probably to stay behind, just in case. I don't know, but maybe a safe bet's 3. It's a lot better than 0.
I would take 3.
All right. In the morning, we'll immediately talk to Gordon and then allow them to sleep. It's late.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
course.
tired.
I'm tired too.
Okay.
Thank you, Carson. I needed that.
I think I should be thanking you. And we could probably sit here and thank each other all night long, but
Thank you.
slowly roll over. Start getting up. Oh.
Sleep well, Carson. I'll see you in the morning. I think I'm just gonna lay here for a bit longer. Keep thinking.
All right. Good night, Carlisle. And I'll retreat to my room.
Okay.
Do I see any winged creatures?
You do, actually. So sitting kind of like in the room, in the middle of your room, right at the foot of your bed, is your maul. Like hammer down.
Handle up.
Yeah, handle. I was like, I don't know what the heck that thing's called. Not a staff. Yeah, handle up, and kind of like perched on the end of the handle is the bat, the mud bat.
Just what I needed.
It kind of like looks at you quizzically.
I used to be scared of you a little bit. Slowly kind of walking and take off my big coat and hang it up and sit down in a chair and I'm pulling off my boots. I used to be scared of a lot of things. Get up and slowly start walking over to the bat. I really don't have anything to be scared of anymore. And I just open my hand and I go about 4 inches away from it.
And it just kind of like the wing, kind of like the little hand on the end of the bat wing, kind of like slowly reaches out and just kind of like grabs the tip of your finger. And then it kind of like reaches out with the other wing, grabs your thumb, and starts to pull its body onto your hand.
I push my hand closer to the handle to touch the handle so it can slide off.
And it just kind of crawls on to your hand fully. And then just looks at you.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't mind me staying in your room as you had it before me. Pull out a little bit of jerky, a little bit of dry rations of some kind and help feed it just a little bit. We'll just sit down on the bed. Kind of pet it a little bit on the back. Is the skin like leathery?
I have no idea what a bat feels like.
I would assume. I know that there's got to be hair. It's a mammal.
Yeah.
But it's got to be kind of leathery, right?
I am like 95% positive their body is mostly fur, and then their wings are the ones that are kind of like leathery. Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of just softly pet it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Oh. After about 5 to 10 minutes, I just let it back on the edge of the bed. And I just lay down on top of the sheets. Just pass out.
Pass out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You wake up in the morning to find... take a long rest, by all means.
Thank you.
You wake up in the morning to find the mud bat is perched on your nightstand. And just kind of sitting there, like it stretches real quick as if it just woke up. And then it kind of flutters over and lands on the top of your maul.
Good morning, my little hairy friend. Hungry again, are you?
It kind of like scurries over to you.
Kind of make my bed mildly. Throw a little dry rations on there. Keep her warm, can you? Take my coat. Slide my coat on. I'll have to take your perch here, but hopefully I'll see you later.
And as you kind of like grab the maul, it starts flapping its wings and like flies around the room a little bit until you leave.
Okay. Look back at it one more time. Maybe there's a chance for us yet. We'll go down to the mess hall probably where everyone's having breakfast or such.
Yep. your body is getting accustomed to waking up a little bit earlier, just to keep up with the old folks' home that you reside in.
Say, am I getting old now?
Yeah. And you are shocked to find that only Zage is currently eating. And he like looks up and he's like,
I figured you'd be Carlisle. You were up early?
Pretty hungry, actually. My stomach kind of woke me up, I think.
You look like you could use a good meal. But you look better than you did yesterday.
Oh, thank you. The magic of sleep really pays off.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I wish I felt that good when I woke up.
Well,
I still feel old.
don't look that old.
Right. You flatter me.
And I'll just start eating. I'm gonna find Chief Gordon soon. We'll be leaving rather soon this morning. I don't know if Carlisle had a chance to tell you. I'm gonna assume he didn't. But you may have a couple of trainees on our flight.
Trainees?
Yes.
As in?
A handful of the magic users from, well, I think the River Swept tribe.
So, we're doing this. We're helping them fight a war.
I think if they were going to be willing to help us fight a war, then we should be able to at least do the same for them. At least what we can.
You're not wrong.
So, we
I
have
admire that.
we have limits.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I guess we do our part then.
Do our part.
and about this time, Carlisle like slowly saunters in.
Oh, morning.
Morning, Captain.
You're up awfully early, Commander.
Hungry.
Oh,
My stomach was growling louder than my snores were, apparently, so...
Is that what that sound was?
I'm sorry, but yes.
I'm kidding. I couldn't hear it.
No.
My
I
bad.
wouldn't have doubted it.
You look a lot better. You look like you're healthy. Fine.
Relatively, yeah. Feel a lot better today. I just finished up breakfast. I guess I'll go snag Chief Gordon and talk about getting the handful of trainees. I was just talking to his age about it, so figure the faster we get the ball rolling.
Yeah. We can get the ship ready to accommodate a few more. And, be off here, mid-morning.
Very good.
And off to who knows where, right?
Right. Chief Gordon should be able to tell us where, so.
Yep.
Alright. We'll be back pretty shortly, I would imagine.
Alright.
Okay.
So you depart the old folks' home, the Starhammer. Get back into. There could be like a canoe that's kind of basically been like boarded with the ship that you guys just have at your disposal for the time being.
Okay.
So you lower back into the water with the canoe and you make your way back to the River Swept Tribe village.
I guess I would go back to where that big thing area was, where we had the meeting at, and kind of wait for Chief Gordon there. I'll probably stick out too, so I'm sure he probably could see me. And
Pizor actually shows up before anybody. He kind of like, you see him picking his way across the floating mats and the canoes over to you before he finally like sits down next to you. And he's kind of like leaning back, really relaxed. He says, "So you find yourself happy here?"
it's unique, very much so.
I quite love this place. It is peaceful and beautiful. We live a good life. I am not looking forward to a war.
I don't think any of us are.
No, I do not know if they know what they are in for as this unfolds before us.
I can't say I've ever fought a war before, but I know in battle, it's not like the storybooks.
It is not. I myself have not fought, but I spoke with Godon last night, and he tells me of the fight they have with the Surans, the invaders. It is nasty business. He even told me of the fight leading up to your arrival. Does it hurt?
Does what hurt?
And he kind of like looks at your like somewhat still bloodstained tunic, and he like
Gesturing to my injuries.
and he kind of like takes a closer look at you. He's like, there is more than that. But
I kind of just cover things back up.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to pry.
You're fine. It does hurt. There's no sugarcoating it.
I was afraid of that.
But it's a different hurt when you're doing it for the right reasons. So all we can do is try. And these people, your people, they deserve people to try. And that's what we're gonna do.
The Riverswept tribe has sat idle for too long. We have watched the Moonshade and the Windtorn suffer. It is not time for that anymore. It is time for us to fight, to unite the tribes.
I agree. Speaking of which, is Chief Cesarel awake? I would like to ask him for 3 people to train to fly these ships.
That is quite the idea. Who is it that you can train?
Well, I would think that you would be very capable of doing so.
Myself, eh?
But if you are to find the Wind tribe that's Windsurfers, I think that you have a mission of your own. Am I wrong?
Yes. But honestly, I was planning on taking one of the rides there to the Windtorn tribe, but I have a different idea. You said I have the ability to learn to fly?
I believe so, yes. I certainly do.
What are you going to do with that ship? And he gestures towards the wasp ship.
Well, eventually, when you guys are properly trained, maybe one of you can operate that ship.
What if you train me? Take me to the Windtorn tribe, and then we take them to the Iron Root.
I don't know that that is the best idea. Showing up in that ship without proper instruction first might not bode well.
It did freak us out when you arrived in that as well.
And our ship is different than what the Surans had. If you show up in that when they're used to the creatures that come out of it, could be bad news. And
Could be.
I have orders from my captain to be there now.
Understood. I will go forth with my plan.
Very well.
But I would like to fly someday.
Oh, absolutely. I think that you would make a worthy pilot.
I don't know about worthy, but it would be fun.
Well, it is pretty fun.
We can go find Chief Cesarel.
Please.
Godon is with him.
Oh, very good. Please show me the way.
And he leads you back through the village. He makes a couple pit stops at a couple places, and kind of picks you guys up like a ramshackle breakfast in a way, like food stands and like fish, like little fish markets and everything. he kind of stops by and he banters with the people that are selling and picks you guys up a good meal on the way over before you eventually find yourself at a larger hut than average. And he kind of like pulls past the grass curtains that keeps the access door, and ushers you inside. And you see within there Chief Gordon and Cesarel sitting at a long table within the Chief Marwak, or not Chief Marwak, Wave Speaker Marwak is with them as well. Chief Gordon raises his eyes to you and he says, "Welcome. Is it time?"
Good morning. Yes, I believe it is time for us to embark.
He stands up and he's like, "Well, no need to waste. We go."
Chief Cesarel, in junction with our agreement yesterday, may I borrow 3 of your water speakers?
Wave speakers.
Wave speakers, in order to train them to fly the ships. Only for the handfuls of days while we first stop by the Cliff Riders and then the Iron Roots, and we'll bring them back.
The wave speakers are not mine to release. Marwek, what are your thoughts? And she just nods her head yes. Well, they are yours, but return them. They are prized members of our community.
Absolutely. We will protect them with our lives.
Last night, I attempted to speak to your Femus. I heard nothing.
And you won't. That's part of it. Many times you'll speak, and you're not going to have a reply, but your voice is heard. Your thoughts are felt.
How do you know you are being heard? And I am not wasting my breath.
That's the thing with Femus. You're always being heard, Chief. There is no doubt. I know it sounds far-fetched, and you may think I'm crazy. But he cares for you.
For the sake of the open mind and what you have brought to our community, I will continue. I will try.
That's all I can ask.
And with that, Gordon's like, we must go.
Very well, yes. We must gather the 3 wave speakers and go.
And he kind of
No
like
time to
turns to the
lose.
chiefs, bows. Thank you. And they leave quickly.
I mimic, and
You are Pizor comes with you guys and leads you to the other wave speakers. There's a gathering of 4 of them, and Pizor being the 5th not present currently until he shows up. And they are all practicing in kind of like the shallow waters. And you can see they're kind of like mimicking the similar moves that the wave speaker was doing last night too. Not as grand effects. It's more like small manipulation. Like they would get a droplet a couple times. A few of them get really excited about a droplet that looks like something, looks like a human or like a lion folk before them. And one of them is actually able to create like this large, like it starts to take form, and you start to see like different offshoots as if it's forming a ship, and then it just crashes to the water. And Pizor is like, hey, you better learn. It's going to be a, you have new learnings to do. You have heard of this individual. This is Carson of the Star Hammer. He will be taking you. You will learn how to fly the ship. And then you will teach us and others. We will win this war and unite the tribe. And with that, the 3 kind of like quit their messing around in water. and they have like a seriousness that overtakes them. Like they were just 4 friends having fun, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're like, this is business.
That's a big.
Yeah.
This is
So
big
yeah,
stuff.
they kind of like straighten up. They're like, understood.
Okay.
Take your leave to the lead back to the Starhammer.
Yeah, we head back to Starhammer then.
Okay.
All on board.
Okay. You arrive on board with 4 lion folk in tow, and it is now probably about mid-morning,
Okay.
and you're free to do what you want.
Chief Gordon, I believe that we'll be leaning on your instructions and guidance on where to find the Cliff Riders.
Take off. Like everybody kind of like looks at each other. Nothing's happening. And he's like, "What make it fly?"
Right. Do we have a direction?
We follow the river in,
Very well.
and I will point the way.
Zage, do you hear that?
No response.
Okay. I'll go find Sage.
You kind of start walking through the ship, and the 4 lion folk are in tow, and they're like looking around with pure amazement. They've never seen anything like this, and they're like almost like intrusive in the fact that they're like opening every door they pass, looking
Hey,
at
stop.
everything.
Don't touch that.
Understood. We do
Thank
not touch.
Thank you. Goodness.
Make a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. They seem to be in line as you.
No, they're not.
Totally not. He's lying. So yeah, you guys pick your way through the ship, and you eventually find yourself down in the mess hall, and you like open it up and see Carlisle and Zage just enjoying their morning together, chatting. There are like tear-stained cheeks on Carlisle, and other than that, Zage is just kind of sitting there.
Hey. We're gonna get to work today, or
Sorry.
Yes, well, of course, Commander. We are off
sit
to work.
around and eat breakfast
and
all
you see,
day.
like, Carlisle is just sitting there, like, cleaning his eyes before he stands up. It's like,
Chief Gordon, welcome aboard the Starhammer. The 3 of you are...
and they introduce themselves. You have Rappaport, Redong, and Zulu. I'm going to write those down, too, because I'll forget it.
I'll even know. I'll write it down.
So they introduce themselves, and Zage looks at him. He's like, "So I am to be teaching you." Well, he like looks lost for a moment, and he's like, "Can you do magic?" And he kind of like flicks his finger and produces a small flame on his fingers, and they are all in complete shock. Like, this is magic they have never seen before. Yeah, like yeah,
Night at
monkey to
museum.
fire. Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all amazed. And one brave one, Rappaport, kind of like looks over at one of the beverages on the table, and he begins to like wave his arms around, and you see it kind of like slosh back and forth and make like a quick droplet. And Sage is like, "Oh, well, that's a start. We've got a lot to do, don't we?
Yeah. Sorry.
You'll pay.
There you go.
Come with me." And he leads 3 of them off. And Chief Gordon is just kind of sitting there watching you guys. Like,
So we go now.
Yes, they're going to the helm, where Zage will pilot the ship. When he's in his position, he'll be able to hear us at all times and see us when necessary. Once we're there, we'll know, and we'll tell them which way to go.
I will point the way. And he goes and like leaves the galley, heads upstairs. And eventually you would find him basically perched on the bow of the boat, like one leg up, just like looking off into the breeze and just standing there, pointing the entire time.
Awesome.
And so Zage is just genuinely following wherever Chief Gordon points him.
Okay.
You guys scan through the countryside of these plains here. So if we were at that junction, let me get my fat fingers out of the way. You're at that river fork right there.
Okay.
You are, like, you basically just are pointed to follow it all the way until you guys get to, like, this open area here, and you guys are taken up that way. It is, let me think here. I should have thought. It is not as long of a journey as it would be if you were walking by foot. Obviously, you are in the Spelljammer, and the Spelljammer has a slow cruising speed of like 4.5, 5 miles per hour.
Okay.
But as long as you can get out of the range of anything within like a few miles of the Spelljammer, you can achieve higher speeds, like up to Spelljamming speeds. So you kind
Turn
of
off.
yeah, essentially, like as long as you have no obstructions, you can continue. So to kind of like cut through some of the plains, Zage rises the ship high up in altitude. The three of the river-swept tribe lions are all kind of like looking over the bow and like in complete shock and awe. And you can see the ocean far off, and they're all like excitedly pointing and like gesturing and speaking in their own language about the ocean beyond. As you guys begin to zip through the plains, it is probably like you don't go the full. Oh, dude, I'm so dumb. I looked at my notes and I had these names actually right there. They're like literally in front of me, and I didn't have to come up with them on top of my head.
What means you didn't? You just remembered them.
I did. Totally. Yeah. That's exactly what I had written down right there. But yeah, it's it's about a 2-hour journey. You guys don't take like the full Spelljamming speed high up in the altitude, but you shoot down the river until you hit kind of like this wide open plain. As you get past the river, you notice the sheer pickup in the speed of the wind, and you can understand why they would be the wind-torn tribe. There is not much of the actual like scar of the shadow that has reached up here. It kind of stops south of the river.
Wait, are we going to the Windtorn tribe or the Cliff Rider?
Oh my god, yeah, Pizor's going to the Windtorn tribe. Yes, that's why he's going upriver. Okay, yeah. No, you guys head further up north. So you end up in about this area, like to the north of the mountains.
Okay.
And he kind of points you towards the mountains the entire time. And you guys approach them and come to a slow as they kind of like loom in front of you. And that's when he points basically straight down. So the Starhammer kind of takes like a wide turn and floats beyond. And you start to notice like there are a lot of winged creatures taking flight from beneath the Starhammer. Like along the cliffside, there are all sorts of flying creatures. And these cliffs are sheer, like all the way around this continent from what you've seen is like this really tall, sheer cliffs. Kind of like, I think it's like the cliffs of Dover, probably, maybe in England. The ones that are like iconic, they're like the white ones.
Oh,
the white,
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
That is very similar to the cliffsides that you
United Kingdom,
find.
yeah, there's some very much so, yeah.
Yeah. So similar to that is pretty much around the entire continent.
Okay.
But specifically on this side of the mountains, they are very tall and very pockmarked with all sorts of like caverns, caves, and crevices and crags within the cliffside there. And it's not long before you see a... I'm turning around. I'm just gonna get up. I couldn't reach.
Stop it.
What? No.
That's awesome.
What? Actually, I do have... I'll grab the Starhammer too. Where's the Starhammer? Here's...
It's over there.
It is. I couldn't see it. So kind of, you guys are way up, flying high, and then taking flight beneath you and opening its wings to a wingspan
Look at that giant.
that, man, I sure would love to know the actual wingspan of what those would be. Obviously, they are a huge creature, so that would put them...
10 feet. Huge.
They should be huge, yeah, based on the base size.
20 feet.
20 feet? Okay, yeah. So I would say the wingspan is easily like 40 feet, at least double the creature's length.
Because it goes large, giant, huge, right? It's 15 by 15 feet, so yeah, somewhere in that 15 to 20 foot range.
Okay,
probably.
cool. Yep. So yeah, it is easily the... I could look up the size of the Starhammer as well, and maybe I'll try to flip through that here real quick.
What is that,
Hey, look,
two
there
right
it is.
here?
140.
By Jason Wardell of In the Vast Forest.
What?
In Bandcamp.
So the wingspan is actually wider than the Starhammer is. Not quite as long, but it is wider than the Starhammer is
Yikes.
wide.
Okay.
And you can see even from your elevated height this massive creature. And immediately you hear throughout the ship, Chief Gordon, should we be concerned as the creature is approaching you guys? Like it has taken, it basically alighted from the cliffside and just is taking a very steep path up towards you guys. And Gordon just shakes his head. No, we are here. And with that, you are about to meet the the Cliff Riders. And that is where we'll call it, right there.
Okay.
So,
Sweet.
yeah,
What
absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna meet the Cliff Riders next session. Cool.
A little bit of a
Carson's alive.
lore building episode. Yeah, Carson is alive, and got a big tune in to what's going on in the world around him.
Huge lore dump on this beautiful planet. Well, guys, that's session number 8.
Session 8. That's insane.
Yeah, session 8. Every Wednesday, check us out.
Absolutely.
Like us, subscribe. Without further ado, until next time.
Until next time.
See you guys.